G'day guys, Hadley here, New Zealand property buyers. Hope this video finds you well. So today what I wanted to talk to you guys about is about regulation. So it's something that happens in every single industry from time to time, and sort of as late for the New Zealand property industry, it's been happening more and more over the last few years. So it started out with things like ring fencing losses where regulation came in for that. Healthy homes standards which came in. Now we've got the interest deductibility things that are happening, and what we're going to find moving forward is that there's probably going to be more and more regulation. Now there's two ways that we can look at this. We can either look at regulation as something that is bad, that's not going to help us, that it's government control, or it's people trying to interfere with our business. Or we can look at it as an opportunity. So for me personally, any regulation that comes in, we look at as opportunity, from the perspective that there's always going to be a way that we can benefit from it. We've just got to figure out what that way is and how that works. So with things like healthy homes, the benefit and the opportunity with that is that some people found it too hard to spend $5,000-$6,000 on upgrading their home. So they thought, right, well, this is regulation. Who wants to get a healthy home certificate? When you look at it in the scheme of things, it wasn't that big a deal, and now everyone just gets on with it because it is what it is. But there was opportunity that came from that at that time because people didn't quite understand it. Now, the same thing's happening with the interest deductibility thing at the moment as well, and I know I talk a lot about this, but it's the same thing where we have opportunity that's growing from this because the majority of people don't spend the time to figure out how this is going to work for them, how they can do things. Everyone just buries their head in the sand and either goes, nothing's happening, I'm going to wait for the government to change, I don't know about it, so it's not going to affect me. And then they get a massive tax bill or they get a shock, and then they go, oh, this is all too hard, I'm out. Rather than taking the time to go, this is something new. This is happening whether I like it or not, and I can rant and rave and scream and say, this is unfair, the government's doing this isn't right. And it may or may not be, who knows. But the important thing with this is to sit down and go, right, here's the new regulation. Here's the things that we need to do to be compliant with the regulation, and then how are we going to maximize our profits from it, how are we going to make sure that our houses are in the conditions that they need to be in so that we've got comfortable places for our tenants, and sort of the last thing there, what is it that the government wants us to do so that we can be the most tax efficient that we possibly can. So in this instance, deductibility. We can do one of three things. The government needs more housing, so they've incentivized building houses. The other thing is with new code of compliance for properties that we've already got. So if we shift a property around on a property and put a new relocatable on there, according to the IRD's guidelines, new code of compliance, interest deductibility. Third thing is that we can either put a house into social housing or aged care or low-income housing to then allow us to deduct the interest. So when we look at it, it's not massive big things that we have to change. We just have to change little things, but they appear to be big on the surface. And the other side of the coin with this too is we just need to know the right people and have the right people on our team to tell us how we can do this and why we can do it, rather than giving us reasons, it's all too hard, it's just a bit of government control, residential property, there's no money in it, it's going to tank the market, this or that. And while all those people are out there saying why things won't work, we're working with a ton of people at the moment that are going, right, this does work, and they're making a ton of money while they're doing it, growing their wealth and getting themselves closer to where they want to be. So to sort of sum this up, the key thing is figuring out how we're going to do things rather than having all the reasons why we can't, and making sure that we've got that end focus on where we want to end up, what our end results are, and how we're going to make that happen for us, rather than just lying down and going, oh well, we'll either sell, or it's all too hard, or I'll just pay the government the money and we'll figure it out when we sell later on down the track. So hope that video was helpful, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Any questions, let me know, and talk to you guys soon. Thanks.